I asked Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff of Burbank, what's the most important thing he wants to see in potential new legislation?
I think probably the most important thing is both additional help to those on the front lines of fighting the pandemic, our healthcare workers, our hospitals, our clinics, and our states, but also making sure that there's sufficient economic relief that families and small businesses can stay afloat. And I think we're certainly going to have to supplement the funding for small businesses. We got to make sure that the unemployment compensation system has the resources it needs. And we got to make sure that that relief gets out quickly. So I think those are the top priorities. But we're also looking at filling the gaps, any gaps where businesses or health providers are left out. I'm working, for example, Elex, the LGBT Center, which is a major healthcare center in our district, has more than 500 employees and may not qualify for the small business assistance. Certainly, we want all the healthcare clinics to be able to get the help they need to keep their doors open and treat patients. So we're looking for gaps to fill and make sure that we get the relief out there quickly.
Yeah, we've profiled that center several times. They do really important work. Meanwhile, something else you're pushing for, when this is all said and done, is a 9/11-style commission to look at what went wrong. How likely is that going to happen, and what are you seeing as what went wrong?
I think it's very likely we're going to establish a commission along these lines. There is bipartisan support for the concept. I've introduced legislation to try to establish a very objective commission that would begin its work early next year, so we don't want it to interfere with the relief effort going on now. Senators Feinstein and Harris are introducing companion legislation in the Senate. But what happened with the 9/11 Commission is the victims and their families demanded objective answers as to why their loved ones lost their lives. I think that's going to happen here as well, with all the victims of the coronavirus now, 3 times as many as we lost on 9/11, and sadly more to come. People are going to want to know, why wasn't America better prepared? Why was there so much confusion in the response? Why wasn't testing done immediately? Why didn't we have the protective gear and ventilators in stock? There are a lot of questions that are going to need answers, and most important, what do we do to protect the country going forward?
There are so many people that are really hurting right now, Congressman, in a way that we perhaps have never seen in our lifetime. What's your bottom line message to all the folks that are anxious and scared?
Well, and I know people have heard this before, but it really helps to reinforce it. We are going to get through this. And what we do right now will determine how quickly we get through it and minimize the loss of life. But we're going to get through this. The country has been through more significant challenges, far more significant challenges in the past. Maybe not in pandemic form since the Spanish flu, but we've been through world wars, we've been through a civil war, we've been through a Vietnam War, and this too shall pass. We will get through this. And if you are in need of help, reach out to others. There are lots of individuals and organizations that can help with food or help with medicine. You need help applying for small business loans through the SBA. And you're a constituent of mine, call me or call your own member of Congress if you're living somewhere else. We can help also in tracking down problems with the Unemployment Compensation Office, and they're overwhelmed right now. So there is help available, but have the confidence of knowing we are going to get through this. I think, Alex, whenever you're in a crisis, it's hard to see when it's going to end or even if it's going to end, but it does come to an end. This too shall pass, and the country will come back.